You are now listening to the Do It Movement podcast, where we share our experiences in real estate investing and encourage you to take action. You don't want to miss what we have in store today, so let's welcome our host, Martine Richardson, and our co-host, Lori Eubanks.
What's up today, Do It Movement listeners? This is your host, Martine Richardson, your buy and hold coach. And I am joined today with my co-host, Lori Eubanks. How you doing today, Lori?
Hey girl, hey. I'm doing great. Happy to be here with you.
That we have a sitting time that we have to talk to each other, regardless of how busy we get. Yes. We always know that we have this time. And I just want to say, for the people that are listening, if I was just starting and I could hear more experienced people in this space and just be a fly on the wall, that I would be soaking up this opportunity. So this is Lori and I just having, these are regular conversations we have. And today we're going to talk about how changing your thinking can change your life. Mic drop. Drop the clues bombs.
And I'll just share, since I've been doing this with you, we have done more deals together. We have talked about growth. I haven't just been in my business operating business as usual. I've been taking time to really connect with you, and it's paid off. I mean, it's been great. And connecting with people that are listening to us and sparking conversations, it's just been amazing. I'm very grateful.
Likewise. So because we do business similarly in terms of how to get the deals. Like, you get all of your stuff referral based too. I know that the highest point in the communication pyramid is one-on-one talk, like sitting down with someone one-on-one. And here are the listeners listening to Lori and I's one-on-one, our standing appointment every week, which I truly enjoy, and I always look forward to coming on the podcast, talking with you, sharing big ideas. And I know that we talk and you may say something or I may say something, and to you it might not be that big of a deal, but then I'll hear it and I'm like, oh my God, that's a big deal. I need to do that. So I love being able to talk to people that can have the growth mindset and just help you think about things in a different way. So leading into that, let's talk about how changing your thinking can change your life. Do you want to start off with something, Lori?
Yes. So I can share with everyone that I was not rich, right? I mean, I didn't have that relationship with money where I even felt comfortable asking somebody for $10. I didn't, I was working when I was 14, 15, went to community college. I was not set up with the mindset that I can ask for money on a deal. So that was a big block for me. And it took a lot of retraining my brain to realize I have the opportunity, and we can work together. So, and when I changed my thinking of okay, yes, people need me because I have an opportunity where they can work their money. So when I'm bringing a deal, I'm not saying I need to borrow this. I mean, it's an opportunity that we can both profit from. So changing my mindset on that really helped me get to a different level with my private money. So that's just one example of how that blockage really impacted my growth.
Right. I love that you point that out, because I hear a lot of people say that I don't want to beg people for money. And that's not the right mindset when you're getting different lenders in on your deals. So similarly to what you said about getting money from people, I'd say that when I first started, sending out lending opportunities for people to work on different deals with me, it was a little uncomfortable, especially if I feel like I hadn't really solidified the relationship. But one thing that I didn't notice that I was preparing myself for later in life is asking for money. And this is what I mean. When I went to college, I was broke. I was super broke. So I needed money for books. If I wanted any extra, I worked through college, but if I needed money for books, if I needed money for that, I remember I would always ask my grandma's sisters or my grandma when she was still living. And she would tell me go ask this person for it, they'll give it to you. Go, like, she would tell me where to go get the money. And I think that kind of broke down a barrier for me, because when it came to asking for money for deals, it was really no big deal for me. I had been asking for money from when I was in school. I was adding some zeros to it. But for me, it wasn't no big deal. It's just that I think I had to shape my mind around people actually wanting to lend these large sums of money to get in on a deal with little.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
so I just think that's a good point that you mentioned, that, you know, you are giving people an opportunity that they otherwise would not have gotten if you weren't out there working your butt off, finding good deals, finding properties that they're worth more than what you're buying them for, making sure you're managing your people to get these properties to look the way they need to look. I think that's a really, really good point.
Thank you.
I want to mention what it looks like, because, like, a lot of people, that I think there's not enough emphasis, especially for people that aren't in real estate investing and they want to be in real estate investing, or if you're in investing and you want to grow to something bigger. I think it's not enough emphasis on how important it is to strengthen your mind, how important it is to get your mind where it needs to be so that you can do whatever you want to do. One thing I've noticed, and this is in my personal journey as well, but just because, you know, I have the coaching program, I have a first row seat at other people's success, and it feels really, really good to see, like, oh my God, I wanted to do this for so long and now I'm doing it. But what I've noticed is that before someone closes their first deal, they kind of believe it's possible. Like, and I was in this boat too. I'm like, I think it works. Everybody on these podcasts are saying it works. I mean, there can't be hundreds of people, you know, lying about this working. So what I've noticed is that the belief really kicks it up, like, full blown, I believe, when you get that first house under contract and you close. You get that first house under contract, you close, you have money that hits your account, and you're like, my God, they were telling the truth. This really works. And I notice whatever mental block, because when I hear people say, oh, it's so hard to find a deal, oh, no one has any money, I can't find any money, that's a mental block. You think that is the case, but that isn't the case. And what you focus on grows. So if you're going to focus on people, there are no deals, no one has money, then that's what you're going to find. So when you can recover past that mental block and you're like, oh my God, this works, I noticed that you start to become limitless, because now you see the deals now. Before, you didn't see the deals. It's like when you buy that yellow car, right? Oh, I just got this yellow car. Now I see all of these yellow cars on the street, when before you didn't see them. And it's because now you believe, now you're focused, now it takes down that mental barrier that you once had, like not really being sure if this works for you.
I love that. That's so true. The abundance mindset, right? When you believe it, it becomes real in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I love saying money comes to me easily. Deals come to us easily, right? Like, how many times do me and you tell each other that deals are everywhere? And then it's like, wow, I just got a portfolio sent my way, you know, and I can't buy all these. Like, how come they came? Well, like, me and you say this all the time. And so when they come, like, we focus in, we recognize it, and we jump.
Right.
I love that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you, how has that impacted that mindset change? When did it happen for you? And how did that impact your growth from that time?
Well, I'd say mindset shift, it started from the very beginning for me, because it took me a long time to find a deal, like to get a deal, because I wasn't convinced. I didn't believe that this really worked, if I'm honest. It took me 2 years before I closed on my first deal. And, some people might say 2 years, I would have quit. Well, I'm here to tell you, I did quit, and I got back up and I started again. I quit a lot. But what I noticed is that I had to really strengthen my mindset. So how did I do that? For me, I had to read a lot of books. I had to listen to a lot of podcasts. I had to go to different meetups. And then what I noticed is that when I decided that I was going to keep doing this until it started working for me, that's when I became successful. Those first 2 years were me, I would try something and I'm like, that didn't work. And then I would take a break because I would quit. And then I was like, man, I would just listen to another podcast and I was like, well, maybe it does work. It's no way. So then I would pick it back up and try something else and that doesn't work. And I would quit. But I noticed that when I decided that I was going to keep doing this until it worked for me while strengthening my mindset. Wow. So when I say strengthen my mindset, I was doing that by reading the books, listening to podcasts, going to local meetups, and I was taking action. I wasn't just listening and sitting back and say, oh, that might be for me one day. Mm-hmm. I made the decision is that I was going to keep doing this until it started working for me. If you guys have heard my story before, you know that by strengthening my mindset, I went from having no deals to having 5 deals. I had nothing. And then like back to back, I got 5 under contract. And that's when it started. Like the reason I was able to do that is because the belief started really kicking in. And because the belief started kicking in, I started recognizing what was a deal and what wasn't. And I didn't take offense if something didn't work out. Like, you can't take it personal. Like, oh, I came to this house and it didn't work. This doesn't work. That was my attitude before. Yeah. I would do one house. Oh, they don't want to sell it for a discount. This doesn't work. I just shifted my mindset. So if it didn't work for them, that's fine. It's somebody else that needs my help. So by doing that, it really kicked my belief up a notch. And then also it made it, once that belief was like set in stone, I know I can do this, the deals just started flowing because now I see it. Now I recognize it. I got rid of that mental barrier. What about you? What helped you get your mental strong?
Yeah. So, well, the private money, realizing that I had the opportunity, I think that was a big change, but also the type of deals that I could do. For a long time, I was just buying $100,000 deals that I call, I'd buy the crack house, right? Like I wasn't buying luxury. So I was doing $100,000 to $200,000 all in type deals. And then my belief was like, that was normal. How could I look at a $500 to $1 million deal? Like, who's going to lend on that type of deal? And that was a limited belief, right? Like I spoke that, I believe that, so I didn't try for anything bigger. And then once I did get something bigger and my investor friend said, hey, well, you haven't even asked for private money yet. Why do you think you can only do it with seller financing? Getting that one deal and breaking the barrier and finding a private lender, the first private lender that I asked said yes. So I was like, what? I've been holding myself back for 8 years. I had just been buying, properties that were, in transitional areas, right? Like I had to put a lot of value add. I didn't think I could buy a pretty house. Like I buy ugly houses. So that mindset kept me stuck in an area of real estate that I did grow in, but how much faster could I have grown if I realized that earlier on, if I had went for the bigger deal and didn't just pass. So I think that was a huge change, realizing I can buy higher dollar properties and not feel like I have to give up a child to do it, like it's actually, it's just the numbers game, just as if you're buying the $100,000 deal. You just need to have, calculated risk and make sure that you're safe and the funds make sense. So that was huge. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah. So I want to share a story about, I went to lunch with one of my friends recently. And I love just having lunch with people. It's just, even if you have great bonds, it just makes them even better and strengthens your relationships. Or, coming out here on the podcast and talking to Lori all the time, it just strengthens your relationships. So I was talking to one of my friends, and she's pretty savvy when it comes to looking at houses and stuff like that. I think that's one thing that we like. We like to see something ugly and make it pretty and make a lot of money. We enjoy that. So she said one of her coworkers, they wanted to buy a house. They were renting and they wanted to buy a house. And she didn't really know what to look for. This is her coworker. She didn't really know what to look for. She knew that my friend is savvy in terms of like looking at houses and stuff like that. So she asked her, could you go look at some houses for me? Mm-hmm. So my friend is thinking, okay, so let's make you some money off this house. Like, let's be strategic. Let's be smart. Even if this house isn't going to be your forever home, it can really set you up for your forever home. So that was her thinking. So she said that, you know, you might get approved for a mortgage for like to buy a house for $300,000, but she was telling her that you don't have to get a house that's $300,000. You could buy one that's $150, $200, whatever. And then like, especially if it's some things that you can do to upgrade it and bring up the value, you could put yourself in a really good position. So the person that she was helping, her coworker, she kind of understood. So she said, let's go look at some lower price houses. So they start looking at houses, and she's like, my coworker's picking out stuff that doesn't matter, that she doesn't like about the house. Yep. She's like, oh my God, that wallpaper is hideous. And she's like, oh, look at the kitchen countertops. Like, that doesn't look that great. So like, she's trying to coach her as they're looking at houses. And she's like, the things that you're pointing out are easily fixable. You could get rid of the wallpaper and paint it. You can get a new kitchen countertop. She's like, but outside they have a new HVAC. Do you know how much a new HVAC costs? Who cares that the place looks dated? You can make it look nicer over time. Her coworker was not trying to hear it. Her coworker was not trying to hear it. She passed on these houses that could have provided a massive layup. When I say massive layup, let's say she was looking at a house that was $150, right? And the reason it cost this amount is because it just looked old. It looked dated. The people just wanted to sell it, whatever the case may be. She could have fixed up this. She could have got it, bought this house, $150. Did not have to put a lot of money into it, maybe 10, 20K. And while she's living there, and she probably could have sold that house for the high twos, low 300s. And she's missing out on a huge opportunity to build wealth so that she could move on to the next house. Yeah. My friend said that she was frustrated. Yeah. She couldn't take it anymore. So she stopped looking at houses with her because she wasn't getting it. And then, so she asked her a couple of months later, she's like, oh, so did you buy a house? And she said, no, I couldn't find anything I wanted in my price point. So I just ended up renting. And this place has a nice community center. She was really excited about that. And if you want to just live a life of luxury, you don't care about building wealth, that's your business. But this person, she asked my friend to help her because she saw what she was doing. And it seemed like she was interested in doing something similar as her. So she was giving her advice so she could do that. But she wasn't open to receiving that advice. She was looking at things on surface level. She wasn't looking at it in terms of long term. And because of that, she's now moved. And there's nothing wrong with renting, but she's missing out on an opportunity to really build a lot of wealth for her and her family because she wanted a community center. And it's like, you could have really set yourself up to live in possibly the house of your dreams, and you would own it and be able to get money back when you sell it instead of you leaving with nothing or maybe a security deposit. And she completely missed out on that message because her mind wasn't where it needed to be. So if I'm honest with you, that story right there made me think, change your thinking and change your life. She's missing out on a huge opportunity because she was unwilling to change her thinking about stuff and open up her mind so she'd be able to move on to that next step and eventually get what she wanted, but she couldn't see past, I can't get what I want now.
And that's why your circle matters so much. I know we talk about it like every time, but your mindset starts with the people around you. So be careful who's in your ear, because she had an opportunity of getting a mortgage and then in 2 years having a tax-free sale, $250,000 or $500,000 if she's married. That's a huge a huge play, right? Like that could be you're moving every 2 years, or even if you did it once every 7 to 10 years. I mean, if you're buying discounted properties in 5 years, it probably will double. That's what I've seen happen is, you're able to level up so much more. It's inflating your bank account. So, why not just join the YMCA down the street and get the 100 grand in equity play? So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's not one of our friends because we would have already told her, like this would help a lot. But those small
Right.
things, abundance mindset and then your circle to try to keep your mindset strong really matter. So if you don't have that, you really need to join a community or get a good friend, me and Martine, it really helps talking to each other every single week. And I mean, we talk about our
Hmm.
goals, we talk about mindset, how we're in our growth mode, but what our pain points are, what our opportunities are. Find that safe place to share so you can get help in your journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like this person in this story, she tried to get around the right people, but she
Yeah.
ended up pissing the right people off because they didn't want to. She wasn't getting it, and if you're just gonna do what you were gonna do anyway, what do you need my help for? So that's kind of like what I got from the story. I was like, man, you really wasted your time because you really tried
Well,
to help this person,
yeah.
and they weren't open to receiving the help, and they just did what was familiar. And a lot of people do that. I mean, myself included.
Hmm. Yep.
Sometimes you try to go out and do something and you're like, oh, I'm just going to do what I already know because I
Yep.
know what that looks like. I know what that outcome looks like.
Yeah.
But Lori, I have a question for you because you are so big on believing and belief. Like I think if you follow Lori on any social media, you're gonna see at least one post about belief every week. Like at least one. And like you're really big on it. So what is some advice you would give someone, and let me give you the frame of their mind. What
Okay.
advice would you give someone that they have a lot of barriers in terms of mindset, meaning that they're interested in getting into real estate investing, but they don't really believe that it's for them. They want to do it, but they don't really think they can do it. They don't really have high confidence that this is something that they're able to do. When they're talking to people, especially like lenders or just people that are more experienced in the space, they feel like, well, what do I have to offer these people? What is some advice, or what is something that you would tell someone in that situation where they kind of have the mindset of, I want to do it, but I don't know if this is for me?
Yeah. I would ask them, well, why is it not for you? I would want to
Mm.
understand like why they feel that way about themselves. I mean, let's be real. Almost all of us are feeling imposter syndrome, right? Like you may even be experienced, but still feel like you don't know all the answers or that you feel out of place. The question is, why do you feel that way? And then, on the part, what do you have to offer? If y'all saw what some of my private investors are making every year, just based on our deals that, our rental deals and our flip deals, it's changing those lenders' retirement plan. So
Mm.
I would share how it's impacted all the people around me in the business, my contractors, all of their families, my renters, all of their families. Like we are supporting a community. We're changing areas. Like I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's how many times, Martine, where I'm like, I have one on this street. You're like, I got two on that street. And we're like playing real life Monopoly over here. But we're improving properties, we're improving lives, we're making those changes that need to happen. And I think that alone, you're changing people's mindset, communities, you're inspiring people to operate differently. So I think just understanding why they don't feel like they can do it. We were taught curiosity killed the cat. don't be curious, when that is completely opposite of what we should be doing. So just
Mm-hmm.
understanding that we were trained this way and wired this way so we can build for other people, right? Like that was the whole reason behind that message is don't be curious, stay at your job and stay busy. So
Mm-hmm.
I think understanding that we were not set up to be successful entrepreneurs, we were set
Mm-hmm.
up to go to school and do this for other people. So, I know you call me a hope dealer, which I want to put on my business card. If I had a business card, it would say, biggest hope dealer, because I do believe that you can do it. When you look and you're like, well, she can do it. She has 5 kids. Like, I can't say that I do it, faster than anyone or I do it better than anyone, but if I can do it, surely someone else can do it. And you need to understand why you might feel that you can't. And sometimes therapy is helpful for that.
That is true. It helps you get down to like the root issue of why you may feel that way. I wasn't even expecting the therapy answer actually.
Yes.
But one thing that this is, since you brought it up, I'm going to mention it. One thing that has helped me tremendously, and I just think throughout life, not just business, a lot of the stuff that you learn as an entrepreneur, you can use these skills, these transferable skills in different areas of your life. You can use them for relationships, you can use them for your family, you can use them for being the best person you can be, you can use them for health. Like to me, like that has been probably one of the greatest gifts that I've received from being an entrepreneur, is because I can use this information in different areas of my life. But since you brought up the therapy thing, one thing that has really helped me tremendously, like just in life, is going to therapy and finding out the root issue of why you do things the way you do them.
Yeah.
So why do you have this reaction to this, or why do you feel this way? A lot of the times what you'll find is that there will be something that happened typically in your childhood that you carried with you for your whole life, and you've used that as your identity. One thing that I like to point out is, and someone pointed this out to me the other day, they were like, you hang around great people, everyone believed in you. And I didn't think that was a big deal. You don't hang around people that don't believe in you.
Yeah.
But I didn't
That's
think that was that big of a deal. But it actually is a big deal, because if you come from a background where, like, let's say your parents didn't pour into you, or your community did not pour into you, you probably didn't feel as worthy as you could have felt, or that you probably really were, because no one told you that. Like, usually we get our identity from our parents or whoever raised us. Whatever
yeah.
they say we are, that's who we are. Like, okay, you say I'm a dum dum, I'm a dum dum. But if you say I'm the most smart person in the world, I'm the most smart person in the world. So a lot of the times what you'll find is, if you can get a therapist, to really, like, a good therapist, where you can really like get down to the root of why you're doing things the way you're doing it, or why you are thinking about yourself in this manner, you can really change your life. And not only, like, when you change your life, you're changing your business.
Yep.
You could change your health. You can change your relationships. You can change so many different things. And this is just by you becoming the best version of you. So that's a good point you gave, Lori, because
Thank you.
like, basically what you're saying to people is that you have to take care of yourself first in order
Yeah.
for you to be the best version of yourself
Mm.
to everyone else, or in your business or whatever. And if you aren't taking care of yourself first, it's hard to show up
Yeah.
as this, I'm a successful real estate investor and blah blah blah, because there are deeper issues that you have to work on. So
Yeah.
kudos, that was good. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that
Thank
one.
you. Well, if I could add on just a little bit, if you got into real estate like I did, which it was a sink or swim situation, right? I
Mm-hmm.
had kids I got to feed, like it was a scary time. You might be one of those entrepreneurs that get stuck in the hustle stage. The hustle by trauma or the sink or swim, you can get stuck in that phase. So actually, I started 2012. In 2020, I started seeking therapy, and she called it out really quick. She said, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. You're stuck in the sink or swim. And so even though you've made it, you're going to keep working just as hard because you cannot get out that you are okay. You are, and so that was a huge block in my mindset, like I needed to feel that stability. But because I was always pushing, I couldn't even slow down to be like, okay, girl, you made it. You can actually relax if you want to. So going to someone and then understanding why and how do you get out of that. And she said it was something to be aware of for sure.
Right. I think so that you kind of the therapy you've kind of blown me away with the answer because this is like really good. This is really good because it really gets to the root of why you may why are you having this negative thinking about yourself? Because if you really think about it in reality, if you are here, you're the deal maker, you're the person that's buying the property, structuring the deals. You are creating so many opportunities for so many people. And that's kind of what I really got from what you said before you dropped the bomb about the therapy. Like this is gonna be the therapy episode.
Go to therapy. I need more.
Right. But just think about it, the opportunities that you're presenting. Even if you haven't done your first deal yet, you are striving to provide opportunities for, I'm just going to name a few. You are going to provide an opportunity for someone that's lending you the money. How many people have you heard say, I want my money to make money? They don't want to do the work, but they want their money to make a good return. I don't know about you, but I heard a lot of those people. You are providing contractors with a job. Because you are buying these properties and a lot of them need work, not all the time. Like Lori says, she's buying pretty houses now, but a lot of them, they need work. You are providing somebody the opportunity to be able to feed their family. How big of an impact is that? That is a big impact. You are also, if you're buying rental property, I mean, even if you're flipping the property, it doesn't matter. You are also providing people an opportunity to have a beautiful place that they can call home and make a lot of memories there. So when you go into these rooms and you're like, what do I have to offer? Everything. You have so much opportunities that you are offering people, and you are allowing people to feed their family, make memories in a beautiful house, make great returns on their money. And just think about from who you're buying the properties from. You buy a property from someone and you don't know, like, depending on how great the relationship is, you may know what the situation is, but some of these people really need to sell their house and you're saving them. So this you have so much to offer, so many opportunities. And I think when you shift your mindset, and it comes over time, like you have to do some therapy, you have to say some affirmations, you have to get yourself in a place where you truly believe that this is who you are. And when you get to that place, that's when everything will start unfolding for you.
And get a friend like Martine, and you'll have some therapy in there. She'll tell you it is.
I just think about like something will happen and I'm like, I'll say, Lori's gonna cry. And now I feel like, I don't know if you think this, but like for instance, we went to Dealmaker, right? Chuck's giving this emotional speech.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is such a good speech. So it was just so inspiring. So he really touched my soul. And like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm the one crying now.
Oh man, it made me so happy. I looked over, saw you were crying, and I was like, yes, finally, make her cry.
All my life, I've been waiting for this moment.
Let it out. I can never get you to cry. No, I love it. I think he was so inspiring. I mean, I looked around the room. I was already in tears, but it just says a lot to everyone felt it, including you. Love it.
I don't see how you couldn't feel it.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, it was amazing So what's something, we always want to give somebody either an actionable tip, a resource, a book, a website, whatever. What is something that you feel that you can give someone that was like a game changer that really helped with strengthening your mindset?
Okay. Yes, I would say, I always say this. I'm sorry if it's the same advice. Take someone to lunch once a week.
Woo!
Go to that meeting, get all the cards, call them all up, schedule out the rest of the year. Take someone new every single week and hear about their story, their journey. Ask them, what can I help you with? How can I get involved? Is there anything any needs in your business? And keep mental note, write it down. You never know when that need might be, you might find the solution to their problem. It helps create, relationships within the community. It helps build bonds, and you just never know the friendships that you can get over breaking bread and talking, investing in family. So I would say get out there, start making an impact in your community through relationships. And I hope that helps. It definitely helped me and Martine get started. And we were already doing deals, but I feel like the amount of relationships we got during that time period was just amazing. Like, no words what we did.
Absolutely. Taking people out and seeing how you can add value to them is like, if there were a secret to how to become the most successful in this business, that is it. That's the secret. You build deep relationships, and what I've noticed is that when you add value to other people, and it's like, for instance, it was a connection they wanted, or I remember it was someone that I connected and they sent a lot of business their way. Like somebody else was retiring and they sent their whole book of business to this person.
Wow.
And it made it so that this person loves me forever.
That's right.
It's like when you truly add like real, true value to people are so up, and like you're doing this without asking for anything in return. It's like, no, I want to help you. I want to see you win. Like if you're part of my circle, I want to see you win. So I think that's an excellent answer. If I were to share a tip, a resource, and we talked about this already, and I'm still in Lori's answer, but I don't care. It was so good.
Do it.
I would say that I think this could work for anyone, but especially for people that if things aren't going the way you want them to go, you're trying to shake a certain mindset and it's really hard to shake. Like the affirmations is just not enough. I really want to become a successful investor, but this is really it's really hard for me to see myself as a successful investor. I think you should 100% invest in therapy. Make sure you get a referral. Make sure, you get someone that, you don't want to waste your time sitting with people that are going to suck. You want someone that is highly referred, or like they helped someone else in the past and they're like, oh my God, I love them. You have to go to them. I think that's like your best bet in getting someone that is really good. But I noticed that when you find someone where you sync and they are really getting to the root of a lot of your issues that you have going on, then you can truly unlock your mind. Like it may be a block that you have that you are really trying to overcome, and you're like, oh my God, I don't understand why this is so difficult for me. And then you find out something happened earlier on in your life, and now this is your trauma response to that. So now that you're aware, your therapist can help you decipher how you can move going forward so that this won't hinder you anymore. So I was not expecting that to be my tip, but when you said that, I was like, that is such a good point. That is such a good point. So go ahead.
Sorry, just one last thing about that. The lady that I worked with through this block, this therapy, she was so amazing. And one thing that she shared was a client that she had in her 70s. She couldn't speak in crowds. Like she was terrified to speak in front of other people. She didn't know why. She had gone through 10, 15 years of therapy trying to figure out why. Well, my friend, my therapist, connected with her and found out when she was in kindergarten, she got up in front of the class and she mispronounced something. So everyone laughed when this lady was in kindergarten. She's in her 70s now. She couldn't figure out why she had that block. It's because everyone yelled at her in kindergarten for mispronouncing a word. And so she kept that with her. So we keep things within ourselves that we're not 100% aware of why it got that way. So find someone that you really connect that can get down to the root cause. If anyone is interested in the person that I worked with, please let me know. I'm happy to share.
I love it. Then that goes straight into my next point. If people want to connect with you, Lori, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yes, I'm on all the social media sites. I know Martine will share my email. I love talking deals, deal flow. We do a lot of deals here in Virginia. So if you have private money you'd like to work or just connect and talk real estate, I'd love to hear from you.
And if you guys want to reach me, the absolute best way to reach me is to join my free buy and hold community. It's called The Freedom Inc. and it's on Facebook. The link is on the flyer. It's going to be in the show notes. So you have no reason not to be able to get in the group. All I ask is that you answer the 4 questions and I'll let you in. It's completely free. Every Tuesday night, we do a case study where I show you how to buy a rental property using someone else's money and growing your wealth while giving people a great return and a beautiful place to live. Until next time, Do It Movement listeners, see ya!
Thank you for tuning into our show. If you need more handholding on your rental property investor journey, book a 15-minute strategy session with Martine. We can see if you're a fit for the Freedom Inc. fam, link in the show notes. Also be sure to join the free Freedom Inc. Facebook group, where each week Martine goes over a real-life rental property investor deal and shows you how the deal was found, how to get the money, and how to make it cash flow and much more. If you'd like to connect with Lori, be sure to email her at vitalizeproperties@live.com. Until next time, see ya.